Hey y'all, welcome back to Therapy Tea and to another episode of our special series, Mental Motherhood.
That's right. In this 10-part series, we're exploring the varied experiences of mental health professionals who are also mothers throughout the various stages of motherhood, and specifically, the things they wish they had known sooner.
Yep, we're checking back in with some of our prior guests and digging into the truth about being a mom and a mental health professional, just in case you think you want to try and do both.
Let's get to it.
Welcome back to Therapy Tea, y'all. It's our special series, Mental Motherhood, and we've got Bobbie Melton back with us today. Well, welcome back, Bobbie.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
Oh
We are
man,
delighted.
I've missed that voice. She has such a, she makes me think that I shouldn't be here. She has such a podcast voice.
That's true.
Thank you.
You do.
Appreciate that.
You do. Well, guys, if you haven't listened to our first conversation with Bobbie, you have to go way back pretty far to practically the beginning. She is our episode number 8, and that's where we talk to Bobbie in detail about her work, her journey into counseling, all of that stuff. So please go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Bobbie's a good friend of ours, and Bobbie is in private practice. She specializes in eating disorders, but you are a new mama.
I am. I currently have a 5-month-old son.
So little.
He is the cutest, and he has red hair, just like his dad.
I was about to say, you
I've
don't
seen
have
him.
red hair.
I
No,
have
he's
a
cutie.
red-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned boy.
The look of the Irish.
Yes, literally.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. 5 months. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about maybe what it was like to be pregnant as you were still seeing clients, still
Sure.
trying to transition your practice. Like, what was that sort of phase like that you just got out of?
Yes. So when I was pregnant, I was already fully established in my private practice. I have been for a couple of years. So that was definitely something that I had to research a lot, and I consulted friends a lot, like other mom therapist friends, like, hey, how did you tell people? And when did you tell people? And like, what happens if I have morning sickness? Do I just slam the laptop lid shut, or what? Like, what are we doing if that happens?
Pull the trash can close? Yeah. What do
Yeah,
you do?
do I just automatically tell clients as soon as I know? Do I wait 12 weeks in case something happens? So I think when I was pregnant, thinking about how to approach that with clients was a lot to think through. And then I had some clients in particular that I was seeing at the time, and it was specifically about stillbirth or loss or just taking a long time to get pregnant, fertility issues. And so I really wanted to handle those very, very differently and very, very much sooner than I told a lot of my other clients. So I was fortunate that I didn't experience morning sickness or anything like that at the time. I was completely virtual also.
What a win,
So
Bobbie. What a
I know,
freaking win.
right?
No morning sickness
Yes.
for the whole thing?
My son has been polite since he's been in utero. So
Oh my
it's been
God. What a
he
sweetheart.
loves his mama. I will remember when he's a teenager and cut him a little slack, I think, because he's been very polite to me thus far.
Awesome. I also think it's interesting. I just want to pause. It sounds like when you were thinking through the decisions around when to tell clients and what to tell clients, that you were really intentional about that being thoughtful for each specific client, it sounds like.
Yes.
You thought about the client in that decision-making process, not just about yourself or your practice or what other people recommended for you, but
Correct.
also about them individually and what
Yes, and
they needed.
the things that you don't even think about until you're there in your work as a therapist. I had a specific client that I was seeing for OCD, and one of her fears was that she was pregnant and didn't know it. And so
Oh my
that
God.
that
Relatable.
took
Relatable.
yeah,
That is a
yeah.
real fear of mine.
Jasmine
I
is
don't
like,
have
Are you my therapist?"
Right. No, I do talk about that with her. No, I used to be really into that show when I was
Oh,
I don't know,
yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, when
Yes.
I don't it's like a TLC show or something, some
Yes.
inappropriate show that they should not have
I
shown
didn't
on.
know I was
Yeah,
pregnant
like
or something.
pregnant and didn't know it.
Mhm.
Yes,
And
Yes.
then
pregnant and didn't
yes,
know it.
And
I
they're
would
like, "I
echo
have
my
to go pee," and then they have a baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. Oh my god, I watched that when I was, like, 12 or something, and like, when my parents started leaving me by myself, and I was an only child, and so I didn't have anybody to, like, bounce ideas off of, you know? So, I'm just, like, watching daytime TV and being like, "Oh my god, I had no idea that you could be addicted to eating deodorant, and you not know you're pregnant." I'm, like, watching all those shitty shows. No, that's been a real fear of mine forever.
Yes, I think it's more common than people talk about. I think that's
Really?
a pretty
Don't
common
say that.
fear.
Just don't.
Maybe
That
not
means
super
that there's
common,
a
Oh, the
but
support
fear,
group.
the
Yeah.
fear.
I've
Okay,
heard
I
it
thought you
more
meant
than
the
once.
event. Okay.
That means there's a support group out there somewhere for you,
There's a support
Jasmine.
group for you, Jasmine, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then as y'all know, I also specialize in eating disorders, so lots of body
Right.
image
Mm.
talks
Yes,
coming
I was
up.
just thinking about that. I was like, how was that being like, maybe when you did start showing you but
Yeah.
let me back up. Wait a second. You were all virtual, like, in preparation for the pregnancy, or that's just kinda how it worked out?
Yeah, I was sad that that's how it happened because I had my office in Georgetown, and then the person I was leasing from, they sold the office building, so we all had to get out of there. So I went
Mm.
totally virtual, and it was actually kind of nice. I was a good timing because I just had more time to like figure out how I wanted to talk to people about the pregnancy. But my face certainly changed. Like my face got much more fuller as I was pregnant, and when you are working with folks with eating disorders, they are very attuned to
Mm.
other people's bodies. And
Mm.
I also wanted to be cognizant of they're probably going to notice before I think they notice.
Mm.
And so I
Interesting.
was I was thinking about talking through that because there was a couple of clients I told that I was pregnant, and we talked through, like, what that was like for them to hear that and just kind of a game plan, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, I knew it. I just knew it. I thought that's what you're gonna tell me," and, like, they just kind of knew anyhow. They're just gosh, my clients are very in tuned in that way. So, it was maybe just for my specialty in particular, it
Mm.
took a lot more forethought than just like, okay, second trimester, that's when I'm going to tell people. I kind of, like you said, Karen, I tried to think about each client individually and when I needed to tell them and why, and just make sure it was to their benefit and not my benefit of when I was sharing that with them.
Did you have to think about what kind of options you were gonna be giving your clients or game plan suggestions that you were gonna be giving them? Like, did you have to think about a spiel to give?
Okay, not only did I think about a spiel, but I wrote it down in my Notion app and like made a whole spreadsheet of
This is why I
what
love you,
client like
Bobbie.
when I was gonna tell what client and what I was gonna tell them and who I was thinking of that they could
Exactly
go
what
and
I would
see in
do.
my absence, or if we could just like plan to discharge by the
What the heck is
time
a
I had my
Notion
baby.
app?
I don't know,
I'm
but I'm
sorry.
looking
Oh,
into it.
Notion.
Sounds
Oh my
if Bobbie
gosh.
uses it, I think I would love it.
I
Never
love
heard.
Notion. It's where I plan my entire life.
What is it?
Okay, so it's kind of like did you ever use Microsoft OneNote by chance?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like that, but
Okay.
you can totally customize it. It's like just you can make it cuter. I don't know if that matters to people, but it does to me. It's way more customizable. There's like emojis and stuff that you can use. They have AI with it now, so it can help you write stuff out. It's cool. I love it. You
I'm
should
gonna look
check it
into
out
it.
for sure. This is not sponsored by Notion, by the way.
That's true,
Well,
unfortunately.
if you wanna, you know, Notion, reach out.
So, yes,
Okay.
Okay, so you had a plan
I
for what to
I'm
say.
one to plan. I am one to
Mhm,
plan, and that's what I did. I went into planning mode, and it was for me, it was very client specific on
mhm.
when and how I shared that information.
So that means also that you kind of had to pre-think about your maternity leave and what it would
Yes,
be or how long it would be
correct.
before you then tell everybody or give your clients some ideas. Is that fair to say? Like you had to sort of so you're thinking like, I don't
Definitely.
know, a year in advance of like your actual maternity leave in a lot of ways to like try to figure out what, or 8 months? I don't know. That's a
Yeah,
long time
well,
to think
okay,
ahead.
lady. So truthfully, I started thinking about if being a mom was right for me or not years ago.
Mhm.
I was in therapy deciding if I wanted to be a mom or not for like 2 years. So
Oh,
That's awesome.
that's amazing. No, as a parent therapist,
That would
we
be
need
great.
that. Like, that's such a big
yes,
decision because I mean, all
totally.
parents that I ever speak to are always like, "Oh, I would never take it back, but," you know, like,
Because they
Yeah,
didn't
this
spend time on the decision
is it
making.
right. It was like
Yeah.
but it's like
yes,
this expected thing. It's like, well, that's just kind of like what I thought I was supposed to do. And then
right.
but is that really your decision? Like, take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time. Ugh, that's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
This decision, I took so much time to make sure that it was the right one for me. Just years in the making is my motherhood already, even though I'm only 5 months in. But yeah, just I didn't want it to be something like obligation is the reason I'm bringing a human into the world. That sounded crazy to me. So I just made sure that it was really intentional. It's what I wanted, it's what I thought that I could do and I could handle. I wanted to make sure that all the worries I had that I could solve for them if possible. So like finances and making sure that I had friends and family nearby to support me, making sure that my partner was up for the job, all of those things. So that's really when I started planning, but more so in terms of work and like even work, I would say I wanted to make sure that I got to a place in my career where I was steady and stable and I could make my own
Mhm.
schedule, which has really
Yeah.
come in handy. In terms of planning for maternity leave, as soon as we knew that we wanted to start trying, I started financially planning and timeline planning and all of those things. Once I knew a due date, I that's when I was like, "Okay, I love to work and I know that I wanna work and I have people that can watch my baby that I trust, like, pretty early on, like 6 weeks, and I'm cool with that." So, for me, it was after March Madness wrapped up. That's when
Of course,
and I
of
told
course.
my clients that
Yeah,
I was like, "You
of
know what?
course.
I'm gonna just make the most of March Madness this year. I'm gonna watch all the basketball I possibly can." I saw Paige Beckers win her championship her senior year at UConn. I'm good, and now I can go back to work the next day. We're ready.
That's awesome. So then
Yeah.
how much did you plan to take as maternity leave?
So I wanted to take 1 week off before due date and then 6 weeks off after, and I gave myself, like, a 2-week wiggle room in case I need more time to, like, heal or it just like, if it was harder than I expected. So, kinda like 9, 10 weeks in total was what
Mhm.
I planned for,
Yeah.
and that worked for me. I was, like, excited and ready and itching to get back. Now, I'll say this, I went back part-time. So, I used to work full 4 days, and then, now I'm doing 2 days, and then some evenings I'll see some clients too. So, my schedule is
Different.
much less involved now. Eventually, I'll get back to full-time, but that was also kind of the plan was to ease into it, go back part-time.
What do you mean by you said that, you wanted to wait until you were steady and stable? Like, that was kind of part of the 10-year plan, if you will, for that
Mhm.
included baby somewhere. You wanted to make sure you were steady and stable. As a private practice owner, what does that mean?
Right. Yeah. So I wanted just a steady stream of clients. I wanted to be very well networked and just have a good community around me of people that I network with. I wanted to make sure that I was doing work that I felt like I could do long term and enjoy it and not like burn out or change it drastically in the future. I wanted my work life to feel as streamlined as possible so that I had room in my life for the unknown and the chaos and the sleepless nights and all of that. I just needed one domain of my life to feel pretty stable so that I knew for myself personally, I had space in my life for something that is, a baby is just unpredictable and I wanted to make space for the unpredictability. I didn't want my work to feel like that. I wanted my baby to feel like that because it will feel like that.
Yeah. The thing about planning, because I'm a planner too, but the thing about planning is your planning is only as good as your information in the sense of like, especially if you're planning for something that you've never done before. And in your case, this is your first baby, right? So you've never done this before. So you're planning for something that is inherently unknown to you, which is really different than planning for something that you've already experienced. And so when you're planning for something that you've never done before, you're relying on information from other sources. And so I'm curious
Yes.
about like what kind of other information did you get that then informed your planning?
I had a lot of therapist mom friends that I reached out to, and I just picked their brain. I would just ask questions like, "Hey, when did you share with clients that you were pregnant? What did your maternity leave look like? How long did you take? Financially, how did you prepare for that? How's it been going back? Like, did you maybe like overpromise and underdeliver when you came back on your scheduling? Different things like that." I even asked, those kind of sillier questions like, what happens if you have to throw up in session? What do you do? So just all the
Yeah.
things I was curious about.
Or if your boob starts to leak.
Yeah,
Yes.
what do you do if
You
your
just like
boob's leaking?
angle the camera above the
Yeah.
nipple or what do we do here?
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like my work setup, my virtual setup, it just got like higher and higher and higher towards my chin as as I was getting closer to giving birth.
You're just a floating head. I mean, well, that's
Yes.
not all that different,
Yeah, by
actually.
the end of it, I was just, like, ahead and that's it, like and I was probably, like, super reclined on the couch, like,
Oh
coming to
my
you
god.
live from 3rd trimester, about to pop. How you doing?
That's so funny.
But, yeah, I just people that I knew and I trusted and had gone before me and done it, I just wanted to get some information from them, and there were a couple of therapist accounts that I followed on Instagram that specifically talked about
Good.
this, and I tried to pick a couple of those that I liked their content, and I just got some good tips and tricks there of just things to think about or, like, documents to have in place. So, I asked a lot, and then, like I mentioned, Notion has AI, so I was, typing in like, "Hey, can you give me an email script of I went into labor?" And then, like, all of those things. That was
It's
another thing I
true,
thought about, like, I
yeah.
don't if I can help it, I don't want this to be super last minute, so that's why I decided to take off 1 week before my due date just to give me some wiggle room there. 'Cause I didn't wanna be, like, rushing around going to the hospital and informing clients that I wasn't gonna see them that day if I didn't have to do that. So,
Yeah.
I also thought about that. But that's how I planned for that, was really just asking people that I knew and trusted that had done this before and just kind of compiled everybody's way that they did it and made it my own.
Yeah. So then what was it like returning to work after baby? Did it go as planned?
Yes and no. So like you said, you're just planning on the information that you have at the time. That's all you can do. One of the things that changed for me pretty drastically was childcare. So I got on a wait list at 20 weeks pregnant for a daycare. Just in case that's what I wanted to do. I'm still on that wait list. That's how long wait lists are
What?
for
Oh
daycare.
my
That's
Yeah,
god.
crazy talk.
wild. Yeah, like, it's wild. I guess as soon as you're thinking about having kids, if you don't even have one yet, just put down John Smith or something for a kid. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Jeez.
So that was my backup plan, and my parents live, like, 2 minutes up the road from me, which is amazing, and then my mother-in-law lives 20 minutes from me, so my family's very local, and my original plan was I was gonna go back 4 days just like I was doing, and
Sure.
Gigi would have 2 days and Omi would have 2 days. That did
Sounds
not go
simple.
as planned
No.
because so when you're thinking about grandparents, there's just always that unknown of aging and ailments and medical
On
stuff
on their
popped up for
side.
us.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
totally.
so maybe that's one downside of waiting so long and being so thoughtful about having your first baby is I'm an older mom. I'm 34, just for reference, and 35 is a geriatric pregnancy, which is a super fun term. But,
Criminal.
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right?
Re
So
it
my
really
parents
makes the
are
whole thing feel
Disgusting.
worse.
It's disgusting.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's
totally.
disgusting.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel
no
like I
no
have to
shade
get
on
get my
geriatric,
New
like,
Balance shoes
vulgar.
on and go to my
Right,
appointments with my,
right.
like, my really thick soles, right? Sorry, all the geriatrics out there, but that's what happens. But yeah, so that changed drastically. So that's why we decided I would do the plan was always to do, like, 2 days and ease back into it. I have stayed at 2 days for much longer than I planned because there's some medical stuff going on
Mm,
with my in-laws and with my parents, so we're on the up and up, we're on the mend, we're figuring it out, we're making it work, but that did change quite a bit
yeah,
on the return to work plan for me.
yeah. And then what about, like, the emotional side of returning to work after baby? Like, you sort of anticipated that it would be okay, that it would be easy, but a lot of moms talk about, like, then you become a mom and you have this little baby, and now it, like, how does it
Mhm.
feel to turn your baby over to not necessarily just, a stranger, but even to a family member or somebody that you trust, you know?
Yeah.
What was the emotional side like as far as, like, planning versus reality?
Right. So the first day I went back to work, my son, his name's Robert, by the way. So Robert, he went to my mom's house and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel because a lot of people on social media will tell you how you're going to feel, like you're going to be
Oh.
sad when you drop your baby off with someone else. And so I was kind of preparing for that. One thing I would just impart to others, wisdom wise, is just like see what your experience is going to be before you take on someone else's. Because I dropped my baby off and I was so happy. Like he was with someone that I trust. Like my mom is like, she's like my number one person in life. So 100% trust there. And then I just drove 2 minutes down the road back to my house and logged on for a couple of sessions to start my first day back to work, and then I went and picked him back up, and it was great. I felt like I had the best of both worlds of being a mom and being able to work that first day back. So I had a great experience going back. The emotions were all happy, and all of my clients that I saw that first day back were previous clients. So I think that helped a lot too.
Mm.
I was not seeing anybody new. I was seeing everybody that had returned to see me after maternity leave. And I was like, hey, I made it. I'm on the other side. And here's a photo if that's okay to share with you.
Yeah, so,
It was
like, you
fun.
were excited to see your clients too,
I
and
was so excited. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a great it was like a homecoming. I liked it.
that's cool.
How did you, like, I guess I would be if I'm imagining this, I guess I travel a lot, and I feel free sharing that with my clients, like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here, whatever, I'm taking the HIPAA compliant steps, blah, blah, blah." But, I mean, a lot of them are like, I'm currently in Boston, right, and I've been in Wisconsin for a while, and a lot of them are like, "How's Boston?" You know? And it's always like, "It's good. Anyway, so you, like, let's
Yeah,
use our time productively." Did
Right.
you struggle with that at all?
like,
Yes.
talking about your son, like, they ask.
Right. Right. They all know you
A
had a
little
baby.
bit. A little bit. But I think this is I have, from my point of view specifically, I feel like this is par for the course for a lot of my clients. They're like, "So how are you?" I'm like, "No, no." Like, I think that was happening even before I was pregnant. They're like, "So how are
Yeah,
you doing?"
yeah,
And I'm like, "Gen Zers, y'all are so sweet, but we're here to talk about you."
yeah. Like, maybe
Yeah.
even during your pregnancy, like, they're checking in and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my goodness, clients are so sweet, like, I and so in tune. I would move from a different position on the couch for one session and, like, not in my office chair, and they're like, "Are you doing okay today?" Like, "Girl, I am good. We are all good here." So I really did that was one thing when I started sharing with clients, I really did have to let them know that I
Mm,
was taking steps outside of their therapy session to take care of myself in order to show up for them, and they didn't need to worry about me in session. That
yeah,
was a big topic of conversation.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
are you comfortable? Like, are we am I talking too much? I had some clients like, "I don't is it okay if I share this trauma story with you? Like, isn't that bad for the
Aw,
baby?" I'm like,
Oh,
y'all are the sweetest. I need you to know that I'm in my own therapy working through these things.
yeah.
I
And
know.
like,
This is where the line blurs though, like
yeah,
this profession is so unique in this way where
Mhm.
it's like
really.
I'm not your friend, but this relationship feels a bit like friendship and who are we to really deny like
They care.
ourselves some
Yeah.
right, right. Like
Yes.
it's so sticky with things like this. And this is
Yes.
so I mean, this is motherhood. Like this is it's a big deal. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
like a big
Yeah.
deal for them too, and I don't know, the
Mhm.
lines are blurry,
A little
to
little
say the
blurry,
least.
yes, and when you have big life events in front of your clients, it will like a move, a baby, different things, it will just get a little blurrier during those
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, and I think about, like, the difference between motherhood and fatherhood as far as therapists are concerned in the sense, like,
Mhm.
you are literally being pregnant in front of your clients, right? Whereas, like,
Yes.
dads dads who are therapists are not. Like, maybe they're about to be a dad, but, like, they don't have to think about the same things that women have to think
Mhm.
about because, like you said, you're being pregnant in front of a client. It's obvious.
Yes.
It's so
Yes,
it's
my body is physically changing in front of clients that we're talking about bodies.
yeah, yeah, totally, totally, totally.
It's a little hard, but yeah, back to your question, Karen, about just like emotional changes. That was one that was on my mind a lot was whenever I come back, are relationships going to change amongst me and my clients? Because
Mhm,
I did have a couple of clients that are like 30 somethings and they've decided to be child free by choice. And I was just very upfront and honest about questions with them like, hey, do you think that you would still like to have a therapist that's made another choice and you're actively seeing that play out? Do we need to get you over to a different therapist that is child free by choice? Would you feel more comfortable with that? I'm so open to
Oh.
talking about that. So it's just different things that I don't know, maybe I was overthinking it, but I was really racking my brain about how's this going to land for clients now while I'm sharing that I'm pregnant. How's it going to land after? Is that going to change our dynamic? That was, and also just is my perspective going to shift so much so that I might be thinking differently about clients that I'm working with?
yeah,
So that was another thing too that I was thinking about on the flip side, going back after maternity leave and just emotional changes that were
yeah.
coming up.
So much
Yeah.
thoughtfulness, Bobby. Okay, what are some of the biggest challenges for you at this particular stage of motherhood?
As it relates to work, I'll just kind of give you some answers from that perspective. Scheduling. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
What's
So,
challenging about it?
okay, so before you have kids, people are like, "Hey, I have to cancel. Can we reschedule?" I'm like, "Sure. What are you doing Friday at 12?" Now I have to like text my mother and my mother-in-law and my husband and be like, "Hey, what are y'all doing Friday at 12? Can I offer this to a client to
Oh
reschedule?"
my god. Like a
It's
Whoa.
fucking phone tree.
I know. I just want like I wish I could just have like a I don't know. There needs to be like a motherhood scheduling app where it like runs it through your other care providers first and then cross references it with the client's schedule. It's like a whole to do just to
Yeah.
like show up in front of a client now that has been pretty difficult and challenging. And I would think if you're going the daycare route with your children, with your young children, your babies, I was thinking that might be a little bit easier. It's just, tried and true. They're always there 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Not even that is a guarantee. Like there's illnesses and sicknesses.
Totally.
You get calls
And the
from
daycares take,
for
like, weird holidays off
take weird
sometimes.
holidays. They do
Yeah.
trainings. Like it's still a lot to figure out no matter what you've decided to do or you've come up with caretaker wise. So scheduling has been my
Yeah.
biggest point of contention, I would say. And then the emotional side of that is I really have to check myself in sessions now because I feel like it takes so much work for me to like get out of the house with all the gear and take the baby to their grandparents' house. And then I come back and I manage to be on time every time. And so when clients like have to cancel or they're late or they no show,
Mm.
um, I am like angrier about
Frustrated?
these days. I am, like, so mad. I'm like, "I got here and I have a 5-month-old. What is your excuse?" And I just have to, like, check myself so hard on that these days. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Less
that's the emotional
empathy.
side.
Well,
Way
you just
less
don't have
empathy for
it.
people being
Yeah.
raped.
You just don't have
Yeah,
it. Yeah, you're like, "I
I
have to
don't
do all
know.
of this stuff, and what's your excuse?"
Yeah, like, I fed, changed, burped, got like, the amount of
Packed.
stuff you have to pack up to get out of the house with a child, it's like you're shipping off to Nam and never coming back. Like, I was able to do all of that, chat with my mom or my mother-in-law for at least a little bit, and then get back here in time, and I got coffee. Like, we can get here on time, guys.
Mhm, mhm.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's
so I was a
intense.
stickler about starting on time, and now that one has just, like, shot through the roof. That one, I have less empathy for. In other ways, I find that I have more empathy, for
Mm.
clients in session. We can go into that, but totally different point if you have other questions first.
No, go into that. Yeah, what it
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
being a mom has kind of changed how you are as a counselor in some ways. What are some of those ways?
Yes, so I might not be softer on start times, but I am certainly softer when clients talk about their struggles. Like,
Mm.
everyone has just turned into someone's precious baby. Someone's precious little angel baby is in front of me, and I'm, like, here to take care of them, and it's totally different. I think I used to go more into, like, problem solve and fix it mode and, "Okay, what are some skills we can plug in there?" And now I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wish that I could just give you a hug. My god. That sounds really
Mm.
rough." Clients just melt my heart way more often 'cause I just see them as, like, that's someone's baby across the
Someone's baby.
screen right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of, like, see your own baby, like, in or,
See
like,
my own
like,
baby.
a child, yeah,
Yes.
in your client. Yeah, I remember I am not a mom, obviously, but I do remember I can kinda relate to that working in a juvenile detention. People get so frustrated with them, and I'm just like, "But they're babies, like,
Your
they're just
baby.
they're so awful, I know, but they're just doing their best." Like
Yeah,
I got
they're
labeled as
just
such a
doing their
little
best.
softie. I know, I remember, like, crying at the little football game, and people are like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because they're someone's baby, just, like, playing football, and they don't get to play football." And they're just like, "What?" Yeah, that's so sweet, though. That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely I don't think I'm getting to the point where I'm, like, infantilizing my clients, but
No, no, no.
I'm
No, no. No,
certainly yeah, I am certainly I feel like for me, it has opened up my threshold for like, when clients are not making change as fast as they want, I feel like I'm just
yeah.
so much more able to sit there with them in that 'cause I'm just like, "Gosh, like, you're just out here doing the best you can, and you're like, we're all just kind of babies." Like, in my mind, everyone is just a sweet little angel baby now.
Well, they're just
It's
doing their
adorable.
best with, like, what they've got, you know? Like,
Exactly.
I think when you're around a baby, and I imagine motherhood is like this, like, you not only experience that in full force in pregnancy, you're just here doing your best, but this child is just here doing his Robert is just here doing his best.
Yeah.
Like, that's really no different than anybody else.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
adorable.
And just the, walking alongside clients and seeing just some very drastic child development play out and just how the brain works and where the nervous system first gets started and why all of this is biologically supposed to be happening. I think that has really helped me to remember that when I'm working with clients too. Just how very biological it is that your brain is doing what it's doing right now or that your
Yeah.
body is doing what it's doing right now and just kind of getting to see where that started, like the inception point of an infant bringing a newborn into the world and just seeing that develop real time. Just way more bandwidth and way more empathy for being where a client is versus pushing to change.
Interesting. You work virtually and your schedule has sort of shifted in this specific way. And I'm curious about like the transition, right? Like, how do you transition between mom mode and therapist mode? What do you notice either direction?
Yes, and I think this is also where being stable and steady in my work life and my practice came in handy. I feel like the time it takes me to transition to work mode, I'm so specialized in my work and I've done it for a while now. And I just kind of know the tools and the techniques, and I, I just pretty much know what to expect when I hop into work mode. So it doesn't take me that long to transition into work mode, I don't feel like, for me personally. I have found that it's helpful to have little tiny mini rituals, if you will, to transition from mom life to work life. So, like for example, my office door, when when I shut my door and I'm getting ready to sit down for work, I will just kind of give the door a little press. Like I'll just press on the inside of my office door. Like, okay, that like we're leaving that energy out there. And now I'm putting on my therapist hat and I'll sit down and do that. And then when I'm done being a therapist, I got to go back to being a mom. I will close my office door and I will do that same kind of hand motion, that press on the door. Like, okay, we're leaving that energy here. And now we are mom mode
Mhm.
assumed. So I think just one thing that's important for moms is you have to start doing your self-preservation, like your self-care work so much faster. So just having these little mini rituals that feels like a transition, take 3 seconds to do it. I think that makes a world of difference.
Yeah. There is something, and we've talked to other people about this, like, there's a challenge inherent in working from home,
Mhm.
particularly as a mom, right? So, like, how, like, if you work in an office and you have a drive and your office is completely separate from your home, there's this sort of built in transition. But when
Right.
your office is like in your house and your baby is literally down the hall, like, how do you manage that transition? So I love this idea of, like, just finding this door is the transition
Yep.
point, right?
The door
Yeah.
is the transition. Or maybe, when you shut your laptop screen, maybe you do
Mhm,
something like a little mini ritual for yourself there. Maybe you maybe you listen to like one song before you head back out into the hallway, into the chaos.
mhm.
Just finding something that's quick and easy. I think that one has really I've been intentional about that. That one has really helped me personally.
Do you notice that certain issues that clients bring into session are more difficult to kind of button up now when you try to transition back into mom mode?
Yes. The grief stories that people share hit way harder as a parent. So, at the time of us recording this, we're not too many weeks out from the Texas floods that have happened in
Yeah.
Kerrville in Central Texas. I've had some clients that are personally impacted by that. And just the way it hurts your heart in session, it's it's enough to move you to tears. If things happen in people's life that they're talking to you about that involve small children, it your mind as a therapist and a mom, you're just naturally going to go to thinking about your own child in
Mm,
those scenarios, in those
right.
situations. So I think those I am still currently learning how to set those down. Those I dwell on, I'll be honest. I'm still in the thick of that, and yeah, it's that one you just have to go sit on the back porch and just kind of feel the weight of all of that. Sometimes the topics will get very weighted
Mm,
whenever you have children and you're showing up for other people that have kids and loved ones, etc.
yeah. What do you wish you had known sooner about being both a mother and a mental health professional? You're such a super planner. Is there anything
No,
you left
God.
out of that you
I
should
Nope.
have
just
known
end
more?
it, I guess.
I
I
took it
mean,
all out. I knew it all. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. I wish that I would have known sooner that it is possible to have so much more fun and infinite joy than a lot of people maybe led me to believe.
Mm.
I'm not saying that anyone like misled me. I think they were just trying to be like real talk. There's going to be some very difficult moments in your life moving forward as a mom. But I have had so much fun. I have had so much joy, even on nights where sweet, precious baby Robert stays up all night doing whatever he does. Like, he flashes me a smile in the morning, and I'm just like, "That's all I need." I don't feel tired anymore. I just feel happy. So, I think that is one thing that I wish maybe it was kinda how I was asking my questions too. I was probably
Yeah.
asking some leading questions, like, tell me all the atrocities of what I'm about to do,
Right. Like,
right?
that is you're
Yeah.
such a planner. You're like, "Tell
Mhm.
me what I'm in for
Yeah,
so that I
tell me
can
about the
plan for
potholes.
it." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me
Yeah.
about the potholes because I
Yeah.
need to fill those up quick. I wish I maybe would have asked a little bit more about what do you enjoy the most and what's been the
Mm.
most fun. I think that some different things that have come up for me there too is like who I'm working with. Like I said, I was thinking that like, do I still want to see teens? Do I not? Like, if I have a kid, am I going to be more impartial to parents now instead of to kiddos? And just kind of having more of a curiosity mindset has been helpful. I wish that I knew it was okay to just figure that out when you're there in the moment, as opposed to I have to figure out how I'm going to feel before a life altering event happens. You can actually just decide and you will change your mind because when your baby is earthside, some things you will just feel differently about. So I wish I would have known before in all the planning that I needed to save some space for I get there in the moment and that's when I decide and it's going to be based on a feeling.
Yeah. I just have a sense, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, Bobby, and say that you probably wouldn't have liked that information back then
Heck no.
because 'cause you're a planner,
No.
right? Now you can be like, "Oh, I would have loved to just, like" no. But at the time,
Yeah.
you probably disregarded all that crap. You're like, "That's not helpful. Get that
Oh
out of
yeah.
here."
I'm like that's an unacceptable open-ended answer. Next.
I also kinda think that
So
this
funny.
is maybe the way to go. I mean,
Mhm.
like,
Totally.
I work with parents who talk all the time, again, like I said, like, about people who are like, "Oh, they say that this is so magical, so beautiful," and it's like there's no real space allowed for this to be criticized. Like, there's no, like, you're having a baby and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great, and it's gonna be the love of your life, and it's like there is no space to be like, "No, this is gonna suck." Like, kinda happy you did ask these questions because I think that was maybe the key. Like, you need people to
Mhm.
tell you, like, "This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck." So that you can be like, "Okay, I'm in this. I'm in for it." Like, set realistic expectations so you're not disappointed later.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
surprised.
And that
Like,
maybe
"This is
that's
great."
enabled you to have the joy. Yeah.
Yes. What's the old saying? Pray for peace, prepare for war. I think that's how I did it. And I've fortunately got a lot more peace than I was expecting.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but your perspective on peace is maybe
Yeah.
really different because of the
Yeah.
expectations that were set in front of you, you know?
Yes.
Your brain's
Yes.
expecting to see something, and then it's like, yeah, it shows up, but maybe it's not quite as big of a deal as you
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be, or you made it up in your brain.
Yeah, especially the sleepless nights, I was really kind of like, "Okay,
Oh,
how are we
yeah,
gonna do that?"
that's what I'm talking about.
I love
Yeah.
sleep.
I
I'm
didn't
a
I
sleep
did
fan.
not expect I did not expect to most nights have some enjoyable moments even there, like, it'll be 3 a.m., and I'm like, "Ooh, I get to catch up on my show right now," or, I'm gonna read one more chapter." I don't know, it's like you get to live a whole other life at nighttime, and there's even a little pocket of joy in there too.
Wow.
Amazing, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
we need more naysayers. We need more
Yeah.
people who are gonna be like, "Ooh, are you sure? This sucks. This is gonna suck." And
Yes,
we
please
need
set the
less
bar
magic.
very low so I'm
Like,
pleasantly
for
surprised.
real, for
Hell
real.
yeah.
Yes,
We should do the same
yes,
about marriage, y'all. Same thing about
Oh,
100%.
marriage.
totally, yes. That is 1000% necessary.
Well, is there any kind of support that you kind of think is super helpful at this stage of motherhood for moms, particularly for working moms? Like, what's the best kind of support in your mind?
Other working moms, and if you can, your mom. I know not everybody is blessed with a wonderful family relationship that I have, but that was key for me. Like, if I didn't have that, I wasn't gonna have kids. Having so many other therapist mom friends to rely on, I just everyone is in a group chat, and I just fire off questions like, "Hey, how are y'all navigating this? How'd you feel about that? How are you making time for this?" Those types of work questions, and then also just the personal questions like, "When did your hair start falling out postpartum?" And, how long did that last?" Like, just different questions personally there too. So I'm blessed to have a really good, solid support system, friends wise, colleague wise, family wise. And like I said, that for me was paramount to have in place before I even decided to bring a human on this planet. I knew that I was going to need that. I was not trying to be a hero. I was not trying to be like a martyrdom type motherhood. It's like, I need help. I need assistance. I know this. This is the hardest thing I'll do in my whole life. So I need to have people in my corner that can help me. And I'm finally like 100% okay with asking for help. Yeah.
Okay. What about parenting advice? What's one
Yeah.
piece of parenting advice that you swear by?
Okay. Here's this. If you try something one week and it doesn't work, try it again next week
Love it.
because it just
Oh,
might work. Yes, that goes
I love
for
this.
toys.
Yes.
So, like developmental toys, that goes for like how to get your kid to finally fall asleep.
Yes.
Like I saw somewhere like, oh yeah, try the yoga ball, bounce him on the yoga ball. So I did that, wasn't having it. I tried it again this past week and it worked in like 4 minutes.
Yes, as it turns out, behavior takes time to change.
Behavior takes
Yeah.
time.
What?
What do you
And it
know?
takes a lot of trials to
Yeah.
change.
This
Yes.
seems true for like
Yes.
food too, right? If he doesn't
Oh,
like peas
absolutely.
one week, try them again next week.
Yeah. So if something
Totally.
doesn't work, try again before you sell the toy or give up the ghost.
Love it. That's cool. Okay. What about a resource recommendation? Do you have like the best book or tool or thing that you recommend all moms put on their or friends of moms put on their little baby gift list? What do you think?
Ah, yes, get a boppy pillow and like
Yes.
that boppy pillow, I call it my emotional support boppy. Like that thing goes with me everywhere. It's like my second parent. Like it can just it holds the baby, it holds you. You can sleep on it. It doesn't make for a bad seat cushion. There are multiple purposes. And then as your baby grows older, you just slide that boppy right behind them and if they fall backwards, the boppy's got them.
That's like it's one of those, like, half circle pillows or something,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay.
It's really used for, like, breastfeeding, feeding type pillow, but there's so many different uses. Tummy
Yeah.
time, I prop my feet up on it from time to time. The cover is machine washable, it's amazing. Everyone should get a boppy.
If you have
Eh, get
hemorrhoids, I bet
2.
it's good.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, I didn't have that, thank God, but I'm sure it would've been great for that.
Sounds like a boppy pillow might be, for non-parents too.
I know, I
Oh,
kinda want
absolutely.
one.
Yeah. We'll get you a boppy
Thinking
pillow.
about it.
I've even thought like, "Okay, is this too big to take on a plane? Because you could put it around your neck. I'm like, "Is this
That's what
too
I'm
obnoxious
saying.
on an airplane? I don't know.
It's just a big one
Maybe
of
I can
those.
try." Yeah. Yeah, so get a boppy. Let's see, anything else that I would recommend? Honestly, just get way less stuff. Half the stuff you're not even gonna use.
For real.
Um, yeah, just get some diapers and some wipes and a boppy. That's probably all you need.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Bobbie, this has
Okay.
been awesome. Thank you for
Yes.
Thank you for
sharing.
having.
This has been great.
Thank you for
I
coming
am so
back.
glad.
We have loved you having I love seeing pictures of Robert. I also love that he has a grown-up name. That's pretty funny because he is like a little cute baby, and it's like, "Hello, Robert." Anyway, okay. Bobby,
You know,
thank you so
he was
much.
born with a full head of hair,
I
and
believe
I
it.
just think he's 5 months old, but it just looks like he's already like a used car salesman. He looks grown to me with his full head of hair.
It's 'cause
Star
you
salesman.
named him Robert.
Robert, the used car salesman, that's my child.
Top of the morning to you.
I'll get him a monocle one day.
Oh my
Yes.
god, that sounds so
Yes.
cute.
Pinstripes, monocle, and a
Pinstripes.
cartwheels. Yes. Yeah, all that.
We already
Oh
know
my
what his
gosh.
first birthday theme is gonna be now.
Used
Like Lucky
cars.
Lucky Charms and
Little
used cars.
Yes, it will be an Irish get together.
so
Oh
cute.
my gosh. Well, thank you, Bobbie, so much. And thank you guys again so much for listening to our mental motherhood series. If you're enjoying this special series that we got going on right now, please let us know. Send us emails, send us DMs on Instagram, Facebook, all the things we're on. Also, listen to our other episodes, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're interested in connecting with us on Instagram, we are at TherapyTPod, or you can email us, like I said, if you don't want to put your stuff out there, therapytpod@gmail.com. If you haven't already, give us a 5-star review, 5 stars only, please, and then leave us a comment. And it doesn't have to say anything cool. You can just say, like, I like Poppies too, ordering one right now, you know? Anyway, thank you guys again for your support, and we will be back next week.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.